and we feel very confident they'll get it done, because amazing things have happened in Bangladesh. Young people of Bangladesh rose up, gave their lives, gave their blood to create what they have been telling us, to create a new Bangladesh. They felt very frustrated with the old Bangladesh. The journey for the new Bangladesh has begun on 5th of August. And that's what we are looking forward to, make it happen for them. Bangladesh, the old Bangladesh used to be a country of enormous corruption. You cannot match any country with Bangladesh in terms of corruption. We are the champion. The new Bangladesh is dedicated to create a country of zero corruption. You'll hear many criticism of the interim government. They're not efficient enough, they're not fast enough, they cannot solve all the problems in 5 months, and all kinds of. But nobody in Bangladesh will say there is corruption in this government. They agree on everybody, no matter who you talk to. That's the beginning of new Bangladesh. Rest is just a path what you take, how do you get there. It's a very fascinating country. That's what my colleagues were presenting to you. It's a place where things get happen. And the potential of dealing with huge population. Bangladesh itself is the 8th largest population in the whole world. Just a tiny little country. Enormous number of population. So if you look at population as a market, Bangladesh alone is a big market. And then my colleagues were showing that it's not only Bangladesh alone, it's the whole region. It's a kind of unified economic region with Bhutan, with Nepal, with the 7 sisters of India. Nature has put them into one basket. You can't escape that. And we're excited about it. Enormous possibility of hydropower, clean power in Nepal, Bhutan is there. It's waiting to be explored, waiting to be utilized. So clean energy is right there. And those young people, half the population under the age of 25, as my colleague was explaining. It's enormous potential. Young people bubbling with enthusiasm, bubbling with ideas to get things done. And Bangladesh is a very interesting country. Have you ever heard of a bank which lends not to rich people? That's their motto. They don't lend money to rich people. No bank in the world will say that. But Bangladesh does. They created a very funny bank. Lends only to the poor people. Only. Not only they lend money to only to the poor, they lend money to poor women. And it doesn't end there. It lends money to illiterate poor women, where women keep repeating to themselves, repeating to the bank official, I'm afraid to touch money. I don't want to touch money. She's scared. Because she cannot count. Nobody ever allowed her to touch money. Bank says, no, you touch money. This is your money. We give it to you to start business. And have you ever heard bank lending money $5, $10, this bank does. So Bangladesh does all kinds of funny things. And those funny things become big, become global, become more powerful. It spreads from Bangladesh to everywhere, including in Europe, including in the United States, including all over Latin America, all over Africa, all over Asia. It's a very fascinating country. These women, illiterate women, changed the world. They changed their life in the process. They changed the minds of many, many, many academicians, researchers, policymakers. They did by showing what they can do. Amazing things. Have you ever heard a bank lend less than $1,000 for a housing loan? This bank does. Lends money under $1,000 for housing loan to build a house because they don't have a house. And they do in hundreds of thousands of houses, not just few. And they're so proud to own their own house with a bank loan. And they pay back every penny of that money with interest. It's not a free loan. And then this loan, $1,000 housing loan, gets Aga Khan Award for architecture. You never heard of that. Aga Khan Award is given to the most fascinating architecture of the world. And one of the most fascinating architecture of the world is housing loan. The houses built with the housing loan of Grameen Bank. So I'm saying that they do interesting things. That's what we are all about. It's not just business. It's a business with a purpose. To do things happen in the lives of the people. That's what the Bangladeshis do. Have you ever heard $5 health insurance program? $5 health insurance program for the whole year, providing you health service in a sustainable way, not in a charity way. That program covers its cost and provide all health services to the entire family, not just one person. That's what the healthcare program created in Bangladesh. Have you ever heard a country which never had any industry at all? Only outsiders created some industry, but Bangladeshis themselves never had it. The Bangladeshis were supposed to be clerks, but little offices and so on. Never a businessman. Out of nowhere, they created garment industry. And in the process, they became second largest garment industry in the whole world. So that's what the government Bangladesh is all about. Do you remember when we didn't have any mobile phone? I hope some of you remember that. You didn't have mobile phone. Nobody has a mobile phone. It didn't exist. And it just started creeping in some rich countries. Bangladesh government decided to issue license, if anybody is interested in mobile phone, to create a mobile phone company. People say, what is a mobile phone? How do you do that? Because our telephone system, like any other telephone system anywhere in the world, were owned by the government, always. Government has a telephone department, Ministry of Telephones, because they provide telephone service. And in Bangladesh, we had the same government-owned telephone service. In the entire country, probably there are not more than 10,000 telephones in the entire country. And bulk of them, more than half of them, didn't work at all. So you have to wait and wait, keep asking people to repair somewhere something so that you can make a call. So that was our telephone system. And then government says we are going to give license to bring mobile phone company, privately owned. We had no idea what this mobile phone, what do you do with this? But we applied. Why not? Let's have a telephone company. When I say we are meaning Grameen Bank applied to get a telephone license. And government official asked, you are a bank for the poor women. Why do you need a license for a telephone? Then we very proudly say we want to bring telephone in the hands of poor women. It's a shocking thing to say. Still, the richest man in the country didn't get the telephone. You're saying you want to bring telephone in the hands of the poor women in the villages. They laughed. These guys are kidding. We said we are very serious. To catch us, they said, didn't you say your borrowers are illiterate? I said, yes, they're illiterate. Aha. If you give the telephone to those illiterate women, how are they going to dial it? They don't know the numbers. So we looked at the eyes of these government officials, answered them by saying, yes, these women are illiterate, but they are not stupid. They're very smart. If we can convince them, pushing these numbers, they can earn money. They will learn it very quickly. After all, there are only 10 numbers in the whole world. You cannot invent 11. Government officials didn't trust it. So they kept on asking questions. In the meantime, we didn't give up. We start talking to companies around the world who can help us to set up a telephone company, because we have no idea how to do that. Every company we approached in Europe, in USA, in Asia, they said no. You don't look like the kind of people who can run a telephone company. We didn't give up. Finally, it worked. We found someone who loved Grameen Bank in Norway. He happens to be the chairman of a telephone company in Norway. So I talked to him. He said, okay, we have a telephone company, we'll partner with you. If nobody else does it, we'll do it. Telenor of Norway. But the entire board of Telenor refused it. Their argument is, we never worked in Asia. We don't know what Asia is. We don't even know where Bangladesh is. We don't want to go and set up a company in Bangladesh. It's supposed to be a very poor country. And we're not familiar with that. Chairman was insistent. He said, my friend says he can do it. Let's help him. So that's the beginning of a partnership, because all the officials of Telenor were saying, even if you have a telephone company in Bangladesh, the market will be so limited because these are poor people. And these guys in the company, they are saying they want to bring telephone in the hands of poor women. This company will never work. Again, chairman was adamant. He said, we'll give it a try. So we had a partnership. Telenor officials were so upset They hired a consultancy company in England